Hello, 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 hello. This is your host, Lizzabitty. I hope that everyone is well today. We have a fire guest that we are actually waiting on. I am waiting for him to sign into here, but I said, let me come on. I didn't want to keep you all waiting anymore. Hello, Cat Jones. Thank you for joining us today. I'm sorry. I forgot to do something that is very pivotal when I am live streaming here from Dubai, and that's why I was going in and out. Forgot all about it. So excuse me. So, hey. Recently I did a video on fake activism. Okay? Fake activism. Talking about Takunery Mallory. You got me. And don't even say I'm saying their names wrong, okay? It's colored people's time right now. So I get all these comments, okay? Nobody's putting any comments in about what these groups have done in the last 30 years within their own community to enact change. But y'all keep sending them y'all money. And then you smart folks, because some of y'all are real brilliant. I mean, some of you folks are absolute geniuses. Y'all love to keep voting Democrat and Republican and give these people all y'all money, thinking that you're going to get a new change of something, when in actuality, all they're going to keep doing is dicking you around like they've been doing. Okay? With no Vaseline. Don't you love it? You got to love it. You have got to love it. Okay? Excuse me. Let me bring my camera down some. So, our guest today, who has firsthand knowledge of working directly on the Breonna Taylor's case in Kentucky. We all know how racist Kentucky is, okay? Was going to drop some game because he basically challenged Takuna Mallory to what she said. She wanted somebody to go up against her. Mm-hmm. So when the guy rose his hand, all we're hearing is crickets. And then today, one of these founders, this is in quotation,
Okay. Can you all hear me? I have no earthly idea of what's happening here. It seems to be that they know I'm getting ready to tear it up. Now I'm waiting on my guest. I am awaiting my guest. If you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. We're going to go on without him until he logs in. I have actually been trying to yes, can you hear me? Trying to okay. So, thank you all for being here. Okay? So as I was saying, so now we got a mess going on with the founder of the BLM, and it's coming out now that all these people are basically getting payola off black pain. Now listen, I am not one to sit and tell you that, as I said in my previous video, that people should not make money for the mere fact that they have to feed themselves as well as their families. This is a misnomer. But what I am finding very interesting, including with these civil rights attorneys, is that settlements, especially with these civil rights attorneys, you know, Ben Chump and Lee Harriet, why are they always getting settlements before the case is over? Have you all noticed that? Have you noticed that? That before the case is over, they get these settlements from the city. Okay? Trust and believe that that is not by design. That is not by design. That is happening in real life. Okay? That is so the plaintiffs do not speak ill about the city and these police departments. That's why they're doing that. This is why the payola is happening before, the actual criminal case takes place. Now, I didn't make the rules. All I'm doing is reporting on them. Okay. And you folk, all you people do, and you know who I'm talking about, because you think that a change is going to come. And I don't know how many times that a person has to tell you that you have no friends. You have no friends. And these shines and these bootlicks, hey, they are not going to be here to assist us in any way. Because it seems to me that corporate dollars are more important than getting justice for people. Now, I am not the one to tell you that black on black crime within our communities are not problems. I'm a person that likes to do what we call causative research, root cause analysis, okay? And when you look at some of the reasons why a lot of the black on black crimes are happening, a lot of these communities are impoverished and they're fighting over crumbs. They're fighting over crumbs. And these Democrats and these Republicans are keeping the status quo the way it is because that's how y'all like it. That's how you like it. See, y'all wanted integration. I wasn't even born then, but you wanted integration. Yep. My parents included. All these folks. That's what y'all want. And what that has done has destroyed the black family. It has kept black men out of their homes. Okay? And then it tells you that if you are laid off for whatever reason, and you seek to have government assistance to feed your family, then your husband can't be in the house. Well, hold up. I got laid off. What does him being in the house and us feeding our kids have to do with anything? The disintegration of the Black family. And now all this mess is happening all over again. You keep seeing these young men out here drinking the Kool-Aid, and they want to be dressed up like somebody who was born like myself, thinking that's cute. And then want to use historical markers of our times to say that, well, hey, they're doing it. You read one line about a tribe, and now you think you know every goddamn thing. Oh, it's about to be on and popping today. Yeah. You read one line of a book. Yep. And now you think that you know a couple, 2 or 3 things about tribes on Mama Alkebulon, which was why you want to say why you sitting over here wearing dresses and all this stuff. Not thinking about the self-hate and the disintegration of the family structure that's going on. Yeah. Yeah. All this false narrative about these folks jumping up and down on Asians and all this mess, just lying. So it's a hate crime for you to call them a name, but if they call you the N-word, is that a hate crime? The people in the church want to know. The people in the church want to know, like, what is really going on? But I find it very, very amusing that you're not gonna see any change happening around here, and these religious organizations that you all are all a part of, and y'all thinking they doing. These people are not doing real community work. Community work is grassroots. Khalid Muhammad used to talk about this stuff all the time, and y'all got mad because of how he spoke about folks. This is supposed to be grassroots. But these people are taking all of this corporate money and is not funneling back into the community. Nobody could name for me any things that have been done by these groups in the last 30 years within their own local community. No, because they're lining their pockets. Just like the American Red Cross. You folks sit up and let them use all kind of propaganda to tell you that they are helping to save AT and all this stuff. And, y'all pawn millions and millions of dollars, and only 5% goes to the cause and the rest is for overhead. Well, hold up. In project management, since when did M&A become more than like real work and materials? Management and administration. I mean, it's some project managers out here. Explain it to me, Lucy. The members want to know. We want to know. And I really can't believe that you all let these people come in y'all community. All they do is march in these fake boycotts. Marching has never solved a thing, and it ain't gonna solve a thing. It didn't solve a thing in the 60s when it was going on, and it's not gonna solve anything now. Now, if you really want to solve something by boycotting, you have to really keep your coins in your pocket. Do you know how many wonderful Black designers there are? I got an interview that's coming out, as I said on this past Friday, with a Senegalese sister. And when I tell you it's fire, y'all ain't ready. You're not ready. But there are Black designers. They do handbags, shoes, clothes, jewelry. But I know where y'all live. Y'all like to live up in Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Now, listen. I know I can't police your money. But there is a thing called, buy Black first. I talked about that in the previous video. If you couldn't find a Black-owned Toyota dealership or something, or if you couldn't find a Black-owned auctioneering site for things that you need, then we look elsewhere. But you should be trying to look at the resources within your own community first. Within your own community first. Okay? Because that is the only way we are going to survive as a collective. It is. I don't know. Yes, I do. Because I just said it. Y'all wanted integration so bad. You wanted to be with the people. What people wants to integrate with their oppressor? Explain it to me in the comments. Name a people on earth that wants to integrate with their oppressor. And see, y'all get mad with me when I tell you that you can't keep your bloodline pure with mixing. I got my own cross to bear, which is a demonic thing. A cross is demonic, but y'all see, I'm not the historian. Y'all go hook up with Dr. Anthony T. Browder, and he gonna break it down for you. But y'all like wearing crosses too, though. But see, you folk want to mix so bad to be with your oppressor. And that has destroyed the Black family. And it goes all the way back to, I'm 46. So if it goes back to my parents, I know it goes back to the people out here who are watching this video. It goes back to them. You can ask for equitable adjustment without integration. You know what? Your example is Mama Alkebulon, excluding the ones with all the mess going on, like South Africa. You can have equitable adjustment with that, without that. But y'all wanted integration so bad. You wanted to make it legal to do all this extra foolishness. And now, as we roll this on in, we all can see the injustice that our parents have done to us, because we were more collective without them. We were more sustainable without them. Most of you folk out here, you folk are parents, and y'all will be the first one to holler that how you gonna shoot your neighbor if your neighbor disciplines your child. And you knew your child needed to be jacked up. But y'all want to shoot the neighbor. But then the 25-20 roll up on you, jack you up. You yes and bossing. Explain to me how that works. But you all continue to let these fake Black organizations come into your community and collect your coin and don't do a damn thing for people that look like you and I, except line their pockets. And you all still cannot name for me stuff that they've done besides boycotting and marching in the last 30 years within your own community. Y'all can't do it. You can't. So what are they here for? There's a channel of a gentleman. He is called Litbox TV. And when I tell you he broke down the good game about Al Sharpton and how this payola started, yes, he did. He went in and talked about how they used to really do community work with victims of police violence. And then when the gentleman who was killed that was from Africa, when they paid that settlement up front, they saw that they could get money, and the whole tide changed. The whole tide changed. But you all don't want to hear that. You see, you all like being lied to. You all like being lied to. Mm-hmm. You all like being lied to. Synovia, he is called Litbox TV. I put him on my I put the video on my community tab. If you look at the first community tab post I have, it's on there. He went through the whole history. He also went through how Coonery Mallory came up in the ranks behind Al Harpton. Okay? Oh, baby. Oh, he broke it down. He broke it down hard. And it wasn't on, I mean, he went through all these organizations. Rainbow Push. He went through all of them on how they do nothing if there's no money involved. He talked about the money with the GoFundMe with George Floyd. How you had all these celebrities. You had community activists who were basically nowhere to be found, but you had celebrities that ain't never met this man a day in his life. Then you had Charleston White, who I'm very familiar with because, as you know, I am from Dallas, Texas. I'm very familiar with Charleston White. Now, Charleston White can get gangster, but some of the stuff that he says, he's actually telling the truth. But y'all don't want to hear that, though. Again, we like being lied to. There is something about our own personal endorphins that go off when people are lying to us. It makes us feel so good. We feel so good. Yes. No one who did grassroots in Minneapolis was invited to that man's funeral. But y'all had Coonery Mallory out there. Now, she gave a speech. The speech was, she's a good orator. But what is the actions behind the orating? See, there is a difference between speaking and then doing, you know. But yeah, y'all call them Uncle Shines, bootlicks, coons, all that. Mm-hmm. All of that. But, you know, Malcolm talked about, and he had conflictions in that, even though the Nation of Islam was making a lot of money within, because they were setting up businesses within members and all of that, on how, you know, he was not living the same type of life that others in the organization, were living. Again, no one is saying that you don't have to live, but what could $1 million do in, you know, let's say where Tamir Rice was killed, Mike Brown? Y'all still ain't found the murderer of the SEALs dude who got killed, who was a community activist down there. See, listen, I don't know what to tell you folks. I really, really don't. Okay, I don't. We as Black people, we have cancers in our own society. We refuse to air them out, get them in check because of this no snitching code. Well, consider me the federal informant without witset. Because see, I ain't scared. But y'all know it's people in your local community right now who doing all kind of mess, especially the kids. And you don't do anything because you say you a snitch. But then you run right back around and a cop kills one of us. And our hair's supposed to break loose. Tell me how that works out. I need for you to break it down for me because on this topic, my pineal gland is closed. It can't see. And something is not right. But you all still go to these Chinese nail shops, even though we got black women that can do fabulous nails. You all still go to these Chinese beauty supply stores, even though we have a few black beauty supply stores. We know it's hard to get into the business. It is because how the Koreans have set it up. Because the Koreans set it up that way. It wasn't Chinese. The Koreans set it up that way. Did a video on that months ago. Okay. So, you know, as I say, integration, because you folks want to be with your oppressor. Destroy the black community. Period. Hands down. Hands down. Mm-hmm. These kids, they have no idea from whence they come. You letting these people educate your children about Cybertrons and Decepticons, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't even play. This is what you all are doing. And you are somebody's parent. I don't know what's wrong with you folks. Who remembers when the crack epidemic was at an all-time high and they were talking about sterilizing black women? Who remembers that? They were talking about sterilizing black women to keep them from procreating, because a lot of the addicts, the women addicts, they continuously kept getting pregnant and were having babies, of course, who were addicted to drugs. But y'all wasn't talking about sterilizing them white girls who was doing the same thing, because there was a bunch of white women on crack too. Bunch of white women heroin addicts. Y'all wasn't doing that. No, y'all wasn't doing that. You know, but I mean, again, you wanted integration. I mean, this is what you wanted. How's it working out for you? How is it working out for you parents who out here with your third eye? Your third eye is so closed, it would take 10 inches of galvanized pipe to bust through that son of a gun. I'm really disgusted by what's going on. But you know what? It is really not my story to bear in that. See, me personally, you already know what time it is. I'm making my exit. I'm making my exit for a multitude of reasons. First on my list is health. Yeah. But you all see what's going on. You all see what's going on. And you keep letting these people educate your children. And the best that you can say is that you don't have time. Yeah, you don't have time. You don't have time. Now, I understand the rat race of the West. I am not oblivious to what the West does to a normal family, what we consider a normal family structure. I'm not oblivious to that. But you make sacrifices for things you want, but not for things you need. Now, I'm going to give you an example. It may be minuscule, but it's still an example. Cigarettes. Some of y'all smoke cigarettes. You would rather go out and buy a pack of cigarettes than to pay your light bill in full. What is wrong with you people? What? Yes, I said you people. Because I don't act like that. No. Yes, blind guy, his wife, their life. Instead of removing the curse, they were removing the bit. That's right. And they were doing that because of the simple fact that if the woman got off drugs, she could continue to make children. Now check that out. But y'all still was voting for the Democrats for that, you see. Because, you know, you black folks love that. Y'all love that. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all love that, baby. Y'all love that. Y'all love to vote for them Democrats. Now, I done told you how I told you on Thursday, how they're getting ready to usher in all these illegals, and they are going to give them legal IDs to get voters' registration cards. Why do you think all this voting mess is going on? They in and out of court. See, I know that you have heard this before, that when you are talking about truth, it never changes. Truth is always you. I don't know what's happening. What's happening with my connect? I don't know what's going on in this building. Okay, but that's correct. That's why they're having. That's why they're having all these issues and all these lawsuits with this voting going on behind this ID stuff. No, it's me. It's my network here in the building. It's my network here in the building. But just like the guy said in my comments on Thursday, listen, I don't want any of you folk who call yourself Democrats and y'all hate Trump so much. I don't want to hear nothing about this buyer's remorse. You bought the bacon, you eat that SOB until you can't eat it no goddamn more. I mean, stuff yourself to death. Literally. You bought it. You bought it. You picked a man that put millions and millions and millions of people that look like me in prison for minor drug offenses while his own son was a goddamn addict living in his house. And he talking about you like a dog in the street. Mm-hmm. But he didn't put his son, he wasn't putting his son in jail. He knew his son was an addict. He knew his son was getting blazed. He knew this. He knew this. But y'all hated Donald Trump so much. Donald Trump ain't never put a black man in prison. Now, listen here. Now, I ain't telling you that, you know, he is my man. All I'm telling you is the facts. This man's son was a fiend. He had been a fiend as a teen. Yeah, his daddy knew it. His stepmama knew it. Mm-hmm. So while his daddy was all up in Washington drawing up draconian laws for people that look like me, you folks still voting him into office and giving yourself a round of applause. And yet these illegals, they getting ready to show you what time it is. They getting ready to show you what time it is. They are going to show you what time it is. Y'all can't, you got people who've been laid off. They can't even get 2 nickels from the government. But y'all paying illegals? Now, I am no mathematician, but what democracy does that? Okay. What do you mean, James Ermon? Let's not speculate who that black girl was in the video on his laptop. What you talking about? I'm talking about draconian drug laws and these black folk who saying that the Democrats is for them. I ain't speculating on nothing. What I am telling you is that they're going to, these illegal adults are getting ready to get legal IDs, which will allow them to go and apply for a voter's registration card. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. And because there's going to be a boatload, millions and millions of them, I think you can use deductive reason as to what's going to happen to you. Basic mathematics. These folks, because they want to be white, they want to be white. You didn't know? They didn't tell you? They want to be white. No, now Shay, now you know better. Why would they do that? I don't know what my guest is. Let me see if he sent me a message. I don't have a message yet. No, you don't have a connection, the color connection for the connection. You know what it is, a connection correction, the color correction for the connection. Y'all was down there all talking about y'all was so happy that Kama Sutra is vice president. And then when you go and look what race she put down on her bar card, she put Indian. That woman ain't never been black. But see, but that's how y'all play though. That's how y'all play. That's how y'all play. That's how y'all play. Identity politics. And she, just like Hellraiser, Joe Sexual, like to put people that look like me in the penal system. That's free slavery. They can pay y'all 17 cents an hour to go out here and make some stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, and you all just guzzle it right on up. You just guzzle it right on up. Yeah. That's what's happening. That is what's happening. But these activists, you all need to withdraw your membership from these organizations. They ain't about nothing but getting your damn money. You can do more on your own than lining your name up with stuff. Now, I'm not saying that there are not organizations that are really serious about business. I've had some to help me personally. But these ones that are out here talking about that they are basically marching for Black death, we're going to call that marching for payola. If you're a part of any of these organizations, they all need to go bankrupt as of today. Today. Don't you give them another nickel of your money. Save your money. Tajiri, they are. And they put that down. They put that down. That's what they put down. I'm gonna give you a quick history lesson here and see. Some of you all may know this already. Do you know why you had so many of these Cubans who hated Fidel Castro? Now let's just talk. This real game right here, real talk. A lot of the Cubans who considered themselves to be white were pissed at Castro because Castro was helping the Black Cubans. They didn't like that. They wanted to be the upper class, the upper echelon. And so, of course, they running across the water, sitting over here lying on this man about what he doing. And then the United States of America putting her nose in everybody's business, but you can take care of your own. Like your own kids are starving with big stomachs, but you concerned about Cuba. Really? Why? So that's the real talk right there. The white Cubans was pissed off that this man was trying to aid and develop Black Cubans. So let me tell you something. They can't tell me nothing. I met a gentleman last week at a friend's house, and he was talking about how a lot of the doctors that had been trained in Cuba, even before, I'm sorry, excuse me, I was trying to see if, okay, no, it still wasn't him. They were trying to see, a lot of those doctors are now over in Northern Africa. Say that some of them are the most powerful in terms of respiratory diseases and things, which I didn't know. This dude was schooling me. Now he lived in the Seychelles. I mean, I was shocked. Apparently, all the doctors in the Seychelles, Cubans. Something I never knew. But yeah, they want to be white. Yeah, they want to be white. They want to be white. They want to be white. Like, because we have just made this word Black synonymous with hate and ignorance. When you think about it, just think about it. To associate yourself with the word Black in any realm, it has a negative connotation. But we as the people in the diaspora have made that to be a term of empowerment for us. Okay? A term of empowerment for us. And so, you know, I am not for the faint at heart. You know, I don't care how people take me. They don't like how I talk about religion. I don't care. I don't. You know, I grew up and my folks had me drinking the Kool-Aid too, just like most of your folks had you drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah. Based out of traditions, not out of what was right. But you're grown now. What's your problem? Oh, like I said last week, it is because you know it's wrong, but you've been doing this for so long, you're so lazy, you don't want to change. You see how that works? Because you don't like reading. I mean, you know, it's something. Well, yeah, Mr. Untouchable, yeah, you know what I say. The new Jim Jones, that shit's for real. These folks is drinking the Kool-Aid, they drinking the coffee, they drinking the limeade, the lemonade. I mean, they drinking it all. Yeah. And so we are finding ourselves in a pickle because all we do is continue to accept foolishness that we know is to the detriment of our. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't. But this is what you all wanted. You all wanted integration. Now you got it. I hope that you got what you asked for. I mean, you go from one struggle to the next struggle. The desecration of the Black family in all realms and facets is happening right now. And all you folk want to do is play around. And then you ask yourself, well, why would you want to leave America, the greatest country on earth? Who told you that damn lie? I just released a video today where the United States government is violating the UN, one of the UN articles, for basic human rights. But y'all telling me, oh, okay. Because I'm making that a series. I'm going to hit each of these articles, and I'm going to show you about the greatest country on planet Earth. That's what I'm going to do. Like every country has her ills. Every country. Now, he who controls the most powerful military force on earth can control a lot of things. Now, I've said that. Now, that may be what you're talking about. Because that military force is something else. Okay? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, listen here, Iron 5. Of course it is. Of course it is. Yes. You know why? It is going to be because she's been lying. She put on her bar card that she was Indian. Ain't nobody stupid. No, freedom ain't hard. A revolution is hard. Freedom ain't never been hard, baby. The revolution is hard. Mr. Untouchable. Freedom is not hard. The revolution is hard. That's what's hard. You know why? Because the revolution has casualties. And people don't like that. See, people think that a revolution is going to be without bloodshed. That is never going to be the case. It's never going to be the case. It's not. Okay? And so we as people who, okay. I'm sorry, Zenobia. I didn't, okay. Because I was going to say mine was up. But listen. Y'all sit up. I don't know what happened to my guest tonight. Hopefully he'll send me a message. I want to come on here. I'm so sick. I'm so sick of it. Again, if you are putting your money in these organizations, I don't care. The NAACP, the SCLC, BLM, Urban League, blah, 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 blah. And these people have not done anything in the last 30 years in your community outside of marching and boycotting. It's time for you to cut these folk loose. Cut them loose. You do better by yourself. That's why it's called grassroots. You do better by yourself. You can enact more change in your own community on your own. There's countless stories of this going on. Countless. Yeah. So go ahead and just stop giving these people your money. Y'all, some of y'all too do like giving your money to a black hole. And I done told you when I made my other video about you know what. Stop putting your money in the black hole. Verify these folks. See if they too legit to quit, as MC Hammer says. But we are always on the short end of the stick because we refuse to do what we know is right because we're lazy. My mere point is laziness. We lazy. We're lazy to read. We're lazy to turn off the TV and get our kids off of the boob tube. We're lazy to get our kids to reading and you and your child have a discussion about what they read so you can see if you are on the same accord. And if you're not, depending on what it is, don't ostracize your child. Your child don't have to think like you. See, you all want a monolith. But a lot of y'all do that. Your kid don't think like you. Y'all raise all kind of holy degradation. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Mr. Untouchable. Yes, we do. You mighty right, we do. It's something about it. It is something about it. It is something about it. But you all sit up and watch these dumb entertainers. Dumb. But Malcolm X said y'all was smart for using them. He said, oh yeah, y'all smart for using Lena Horne and Dick Gregory, comedians and singers and crap. But they should not be speaking on our issues. He said, y'all know I love Malcolm. So, you know, it's interesting. And that's what it is, Shay. We do prefer convenience over discomfort. It's kind of like a parent sit up and tell a kid, tell me the truth and don't you lie to me. But you've been lying to them since they came out your womb. Like make up your mind. Which is it? What is it? You've been lying to your child from the day they were born. And now all of a sudden you want them to tell you the truth because it's convenient for you or discomforting for you. Which is it? Like, come on now. You know, let me tell you something. They shines, baby. They ain't nothing but a shines, bootlicks. These people ain't for you. You know, Kendrick had a receipt that he pulled off of Takuna Mallory's Facebook about 2 years ago that showed where she was basically talking about, I mean, she was broke and penniless, basically asking people to help her a few years ago. Now, all of a sudden, y'all riding around in foreigns, y'all got $5,000 handbags. You living in buildings with doormans. Where you was in High Bridge and the NY, and everybody that know the High Bridge, that's the hood. The hood. Shay can tell you. Yep. Perfect word, huh? Perfect word. These people, I mean, I'm over it. I am so over it. I'm over these adults. They want to be called adults. But you folk act worse than children. Oh yeah, she gonna come up off the hook. But see, that's all. That's it. That's what it is. The hustle, payola over pain. She's not. Listen, that dude challenged her. She is not crickets. He said she ain't been in his DM. They had sent email. She don't want the real smoke because people gonna ask her some hard questions that she's not gonna be prepared to answer. Like, why would you do a video like that? And then when you talk about the long line you come from, you negate as if your mother created you by herself. I don't care whether you and her and your father were on good terms or not. A man helped to make you. Y'all love leaving out the black man, though. Y'all love doing that. Love it. You folk love to do that as if only one type of reproductive cell made your behind. But see, that's self-hate. Again, here we go. We're back to the self-hate. Y'all hate the black man that much. Nobody is negating brothers who have done wrong. And the ones who've done wrong and their parents, the cycle of life will get them how they're supposed to be got. Trust and believe. We don't need you to drag them through the street for that. Trust. The Maya principle says they're going to get theirs. They're going to get it. Yeah, it's part of the cycle of life. Y'all call it karma. But somebody else helped to make you. Doesn't say you have to like them. It is what it is. But that's how y'all get down, though. Y'all love to talk about the black man. Ooh, yes, y'all do. And honey, they some of them some fine, different shades of chocolate. Now y'all about to get me started. Now here we go. Here we go. I mean, it's madness. It is madness that you folk leave out the brothers. These fine specimens of Homo sapien species that y'all like to leave out for propaganda, as if you were made by yourself. That's what gets me though. See, that's what gets me. Y'all act like your mother just all of a sudden got pregnant by a system of boom. Hold on, I got a message from Kendrick. Oh, we're gonna be up all night now. Hey, my guest is coming home. Boo boo. Yes, I did, XDMC. All my melanated fine brothers that these women be playing and don't want to mention because there's some self-hate going on. Listen, I have had issues with my father for as long as I can actually remember. But at no point am I getting ready to come on here. Oh God, and now my battery's. Now I gotta get a battery because he's coming on and my battery's low. Y'all got to hang tight. But at no time am I going to ever come out here and eviscerate this man because we have differences of ideology about a multitude of things. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And y'all shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. You should not be doing that. You should not be doing that. Nope. Nope. So here we go. My guest is here. Brothers getting ready to come in and drop that game.
Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you having me on. Sorry, I'm running a little late, man. I was supposed to be
Yes,
here long.
that's okay. That's okay, Kendrick. I
actually caught up
talking because he got me fired up today. They got me fired up today. So
right.
I did give them some backstory about you, but welcome to the show. Give us a little backstory about yourself personally, and then we're gonna jump into this fake activism and payola versus pain. So go ahead, brother.
I got you. I'm gonna give you a little rundown of my whole life real quick so y'all know who I am, where I come from, and understand the situation. First of all, my name is Kendrick Wilson. You can find me on Facebook under Kendrick L. Wilson, or you can find me on Facebook under Lamar Wilson. I'm a kid. I grew up in the projects here in Louisville, Kentucky. I grew up here in the projects here in Louisville, Kentucky. At like 9 years old, I got taken away from my mom, foster home. I stayed in the system till I was 19 years old. Instead of going to college, when I came out the foster home, I ended up going to go get my barber's license because it was quicker and faster than getting a college degree. I became a barber, started getting out making money for myself, got my own apartment. Look back, upon becoming a barber, I ended up being able to provide for myself and take care of my family. I had 3 girls, and then I ended up getting a job at Ford Motor Company. So I got a job at Ford Motor Company when I was 27 years old, and I combined that with barbering. So I was working 17 hours a day between Ford and barbering, doing pretty good for myself financially. But on this journey that I was on, I've always worked hard and been a hard worker. I've never been a person that had like educational background beyond high school diploma. I got everything I got in life from work ethic, from just working hard. And so I went from being a barbershop owner, a barber, to being a barbershop owner. So I became an owner of a barbershop, and I started doing really good for myself, get myself in position to be like just a complete boss in life. And I was putting myself in position to break away from Ford Motor and eventually become, take my barbershops and my barbershop shop and make it a franchise and put it in different parts of the city, and then eventually spread it out throughout the world. So what happened with me and my situation back in 2016? I was, living a life. I was out partying, doing what I do, and I was in the club. I ran a young lady. It's one of those nights. We been doing our thing. We had met and had been drinking, doing our thing, and upon doing that, I ended up attempting to go home with this young lady. When I was ready to get in a cab, somebody shut the door, pulled the young lady away from me. Make a long story short, come to find out, this young lady was Officer Brett Hankison's girlfriend. And Brett Hankison is the officer that participated in the murder of Breonna Taylor. He's the cop that's, been made the face of that situation. He's facing the wanton endangerment charges. So the girl back 2016 with me hooking up with his girl and having several incidents where some things, between me and her, he made me a target. He started coming after me. When I found out this girl was dating a cop, I went straight to internal affairs. I went to public integrity. I went to business people that I know, like everybody I thought that, because I worked as a barber, I knew a lot of people. So I'm telling everybody, I think this cop's going to come after me because I just found out this girl that I was messing with dates a cop, and he knows who I am. He's going to come after me. So nobody would really listen to me, and I understand why they wouldn't listen to me because nothing had happened yet. But over the course of between 2016 and 2020, he did exactly that. He came after me. He started planting drugs on me. He started falsifying charges and just getting me locked up, just doing all stuff to me. So I ended up beating him 3 times in court here in the Kentucky courtrooms. I beat him 3 times. With me beating him in court, I had my last case that was going on, my grand jury trial. While my grand jury trial was going on, he did what he did to Breonna Taylor. So they ended up dismissing my last situation off the back of because of what happened to Breonna Taylor. So they threw that out because they didn't want the world to see, hey, he got a grand jury trial. What's this all about? Because not only did I have a trial going on, but my trial was filled with evidence that showed how dirty of a cop he was, and it showed how he did police work. Well, they threw my trial out. They threw my grand jury trial the 3rd time that I had beat him in court. But what happened October 19 that people are that y'all are not aware of, October 1st, 2019, those cops that did what they did to Breonna and the LMPD as far as running in her house with the search warrant or whatever and murdering her, right? They hit my house October 1st, 2019. I found out that the search warrant that they used to hit my house was fake paperwork. So Hankison and his boys got together and hit my house. So I ended up finding out that this was all fake paperwork. So October 2019, I slapped a federal lawsuit on them. They got accepted. I'm still fighting it. Still in court to this day. They're trying to get it dismissed. His attorneys just put in a motion to dismiss it. But we've been going back and forth since October 2019. So what happened is I beat him with the grand jury trial. Then I came back and I hit him with the federal trial, right? So they told me that this search warrant that they had slapped on me was real, but they said it was sealed. They said my case was sealed. So I'm like, according to the penal code, you can't seal a case for longer than 60 days. And if you seal it for longer than 60 days, you got to ask, with me and my attorney present, you got to ask for extension with us in front of the judge. They never did that. My case was sealed for so long. So they finally unsealed my case, right? And case, I found out there was no case. They didn't have a search warrant. They unsealed my case and they unsealed it by dismissing it. I said, okay, now they thought I was the average black man. Like, oh yeah, you dismissed my case. He'd be happy about that, right? So they dismissed my case. And then I was like, okay, well, what was my case number? What was it? What was y'all doing in my house? Like, no, what was y'all doing in my house? Why'd y'all hit my house? Wouldn't give me no information. Said I didn't have a case number. So then I come to find out all this stuff was illegal and it was corruption. Really what they did is they came in my house, they stole my money, they tortured my girlfriend. The same time that they hit my house, I was at Ford Motor Company working. They came up to Ford Motor Company, basically kidnapped me because they had no right to do what they did. They kidnapped me from Ford Motor Company, took me to my barbershop and destroyed my barbershop and searched it and found nothing. So they found nothing at my house, nothing at my barbershop, just strictly stole the money and then just let me go. And so in the midst of all this going on and me slapping the federal lawsuit on them, they end up killing Breonna. So Breonna Taylor's lawyer, Sam Aguiar, he ended up hiring me to work the Breonna Taylor case because he had seen how good I've done on my own stuff against them. He's like, look at my record. He's like, you beat Brett Hankinson 3 times in the court. Plus, you got a federal lawsuit. He's like, I need to be trying to learn from you. So he brought me in. When he brought me in, he made me think that he was going to represent me on my federal case because I was in need of a lawyer. He made me think he was going to be representing me on my federal case. But really what he did is get me to start helping him with the Breonna Taylor case. Start paying me money. And I solved the case. I solved that Breonna. Anybody here locally in Louisville, they know. I solved it. I got the case file. I got everything. All the evidence, all the red flags. I solved it. But what they did is they launched an attack on me. And they took one of the jurors from the grand, a woman by the name Amber Duncan was her name. But now she switched her name to Summer Dickerson within the last couple of weeks. She testified because of the Breonna Taylor case. Because I found out that she was basically having the protection of a confidential informant because she testified before the grand jury under a fake name, which is illegal unless you're getting the protection of a confidential informant. She testified in the Breonna Taylor case under a fake name. I pointed that out. That same woman, and now they've slapped stalking charges on me because I sat in my house right here and I broke down the Breonna Taylor case and I proved that she was a confidential informant. So now I'm facing 60 days in jail and I've been railroaded and I won't come out my house because it's not a criminal charge. I'm facing 60 days in jail because when the judge stopped, I cussed the judge. I cussed at the judge. I said F-U-B-I-C-T-H to the judge because I was mad because they railroaded me. And then after that, it's a contempt of court charge and they falsified stalking charges of me. I got stalking charges off of going Facebook Live and breaking down the case. So they stuck stalking charges on me. They gave me 30 days for that. Then they stuck 30 more days for contempt of court. I said, for one, I'm not going to jail because it's full of corona. I'm not signing myself up for no death by going into a dirty jail. For two, all your evidence that you had was illegal evidence. The evidence that you had, they would cut and copy my Facebook messages, make it say what they wanted to say instead of playing the whole video. I'm like, that's doctrine of evidence. You are tampering with evidence. If you're a judge and somebody brings the video in there, you can't just listen to 10 seconds. You got to listen to the whole thing to see what's going on and what's the context of the video, right? So judge bamboozled me. I wasn't able to get an attorney, so I was representing myself pro se. And so now the situation that I'm in, they've took this girl who's linked to Sam Aguiar. She's linked to David Maurer, and all these people are linked to corruption here in this city, Louisville, Kentucky. And now they're coming after me and sticking charges on me because they don't want the world to find proof that I know about the Breonna Taylor case because I was on her legal team and I would not take the money. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. And so now they're coming after me.
Well, that's typically what happens when you say that you're not taking the money. Truth always stays the same, but truth can also be a detriment when you're honest about things. But right. That's the nature of how it goes, I wanted you to come on today. I know that you have seen the news cycle today of the ALWAY founder that bought this $1 million palatial home out in California. And then you got Takuna Mallory in this Cadillac. I call folks by their coon name. Right. Okay. So you may be wondering what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. But, all these people, including my home, they are all taking money. Nothing is being done. I did a video asking people to name me some change that all of these Black organizations have done in the last 30 years of the community, excluding voting rights marching and boycotting. I got nothing.
I'll tell you what, I can speak on one that I know. It's hard to speak on people unless you got the receipts. But one organization that I do got the facts and the receipts on is Tamika D. Mallory and Until Freedom. Those people are super corrupt. The same guy that hired me, Aguiar, I believe he brought them in to Louisville to carry out, which was a political agenda. You must understand it was a political agenda. If you listen to Breonna's mother, she's all about some voting and all about some getting laws and stuff passed and all that. It's all politically driven. But Until Freedom is so corrupt. I spoke to them face to face about my case, because you must understand they failed getting justice for Breonna Taylor. So my thing was, let's get them through my case, because it's not about how to get them, it's about actually in my streets locked up. I got all the proof in my case. That's why they're trying to push me off my case. And those people, they would not stand with me. More importantly, they turned the protest on me. And I got the proof and the facts that they was paying protesters here in Louisville, Kentucky to support them. What happened is they had these protesters who has no experience, no grassroots organizations ever that stood. They had all these protesters here local create these organizations on paper, right? And then Until Freedom gave and donated money to the organization for them to get their people to follow Until Freedom. So they basically bought the support of the protesters.
The support. And gotcha.
If you watch Tamika D. Mallory's, she went on Facebook and IG like 3-4 nights ago, and she spoke on this, but she had to confirm everything that I was saying because she knew my word was starting to get out. Like, you're way in Dubai, right? You're way over in Dubai. My word is starting to travel. So that's why she had to get on live and try to clear things up or speak on it, because she's like, man, they're going to find out through him anyway. Let me try to. Now, if you listen to the woman closely a couple of days ago when she spoke, she straight up said, we was paying people in Louisville tens of thousands of dollars. And then she even made a direct statement towards me. First of all, she blocked me because I commented. She was like, oh, you out of her. And then she spoke on me and said that I had made up stuff about Kenneth Walker and Breonna Taylor. That was me she was talking about when she talked about that. But at the end of the day, here's my thing. Whether she likes me or dislikes me, I got all the evidence for the Breonna Taylor case. You people formed the whole organization that is generating millions off the back of y'all are trying to get justice for Breonna Taylor. My thing is, let's set aside our dislikes and our likes for each other, and let's get justice for Breonna Taylor, because that's what it was supposed to be about. But they're not interested in doing that because it's not about justice. This is about political gain. This is about helping out and carrying out white supremacy agendas. And I can't stand with that, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. And she said it out her own mouth. She tried to feel guilty. She said, yeah, I work for the white man, and the white man is giving me all this money. I think she said $6 to $7 billion was distributed for them to distribute to grassroots organizations all over the country. But then she tried to make us feel bad because she's like, you work for a white man. No, we don't. We work for white companies. And we're under the impression that we're working for our bills, our mortgage, and take care of our family. We're not working for these white companies so we can carry out white supremacy agendas. You're working for the white man, and you're purposely carrying out white supremacy agendas. Because what happens is this. People like Until Freedom, they got control of the small organization, right? But the white man was distributing the money to Until Freedom got control of Until Freedom. So when it's all done, the people, you think you're fighting for Black Lives Matters and all that stuff, but you're actually doing what the white man that's oppressed you wants to do, because your leader, which is Tamika Mallory, Until Freedom, answers to them. So they got you doing that they want you to do.
But it's the same. If you recall, the grassroots activists exposed them as well, saying they couldn't be at the front of the protest march.
I mean,
said all those camera ops, they wanted that for in my home.
Right. I mean, it's all corrupt. At the end of the day, we can keep pointing out things, but at the end of the day, what people got to realize, it's all corruption. We can talk about it all day, but we got to do something, because we already had so many examples. Grandmaster J, the NFAC, corruption. Until Freedom, corruption. We got so many examples, even dating back to with the Panthers, because there was corruption with that, because they had been infiltrated. We got to start realizing there's people who have the same color skin that have infiltrated their white supremacist agendas. And Black people don't want to accept that it's no longer a fight with the white man. We are now battling with the Black man that's carrying out white supremacist agendas. Like, people don't realize this. We're all descendants of slaves, right? We're descendants. We
Correct.
come from, most of us who got black skin, like, but and most white people are descendants of slave masters. But what people fail to realize, there are Black people who are descendants of the house niggas. And there are still their bloodline of house niggas that's carrying out house niggas agendas, which has nothing to help us. And at the day, you must understand, a lot of these pastors are descendants of house niggas. Why do you think when a pastor retires, that's his son, and that's his son, this is the descendant of house niggas, and they control our mentality. And the white man control pastors. Number one people that controls our Black people are rappers. Who pays the rappers? The white man. Who's giving the pastors the big tax breaks? The white man. So who's giving the pastors the money to build these mega churches? The white man. So at the end of the day, you must understand the house nigga is still carrying out supremacy agendas and purposely oppressing the people got the color skin.
You know, I cannot disagree with anything that you said. I told everyone, these organizations y'all funneling y'all money to, and you don't see change in your community, stop giving these people your money. Excuse me. You're basically a bottomless pit. Nothing's happening because all they want to do is have marches and protests. These people don't want to. But what has been is the mere fact that our pain by death gets these organizations. And yes, they are in tenets of white supremacy. But we, as I discussed prior to you coming up to the show, we're just lazy. We status quo because it's all we do and not change up, because to some people it requires too much work. To some people it requires too much work. And we are. Now you got these organizations, now they're being exposed for what they are. And then her trying to use her and work for the white man and all that.
Is there anything you can breaking up?
Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Just when I need. Can you hear me now?
I can, but it's got a feedback with a static thing.
Oh God, okay. Probably have to cut it because it's probably gonna do something strange. I've been having connection.
And if you want to, oh, definitely down with doing another